Good morning students, and here welcome to the class of standard 8 mathematics, and the chapter is exponents. So we'll have a quick recap of what we studied in standard 7 about laws of exponents. Basically those laws will be used over here and a few new laws will be added in your knowledge part. So let us have a look. I go with the basic students. Suppose we have to find out 2 to the power 2 multiplied by 2 to the power 3. So if we expand it, we write it as 2 into 2 into, so this is 2 to the power 2 and 2 into 2 into 2. This is 2 to the power 3. So if I add these up, then we get 2 to the power 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now here have a look. If we would have added the power or the exponents, if the bases are same, we get the same result. 3 plus 2 is 5. So the result is 2 to the power 2 into 2 to the power 3 is 2 to the power 5. So we put the first law in action, that is law 1. Law 1 says any base raised to the power m into any same base raised to the power n will be equal to the same base raised to the power m plus n. So this is the law, first law which came through this, our knowledge of expansion. Then we have next one is 2 to the power 5 divided by 2 to the power 3. So what does this become? 2 to the power 5 is 5 times I have to write 2, and then I have to write 3 times 2 at the denominator. Then we cancel out. So 5 minus 3, that means 5 times out of 5 times 3 times we have cancelled out, so it becomes 2 to the power 2, and then we can really evaluate. So that means if you subtract 5 minus 3, you get 2. So the exponent over here is 2. That means we can make another law. Law 2 tells us that a to the power m divided by a to the power n is of course a to the power m minus n. So these are the two basic laws of exponent. Then what happens if there is a power of the power? So let us have a look. Let us try to see that law. So we can see over here 2 to the power 2 to the power 3. Now what does this become? 2 square, 2 square and 2 square 3 times, isn't it? Any base raised to a particular power means that base multiplied same many times. So what has happened over here? This is 2 to the power 2 to the power 2, that is 2 to the power 6. So that means law 3 comes into display. Law 3 that tells us a raised to the power m, which is again raised to the power n, then we multiply the base. Alright. So once again, so that means if I have a question over here, application question of law 1, application question of law 1, application question. So let us have a look. Application question. So suppose I say 5 raised to the power 2 into 5 raised to the power 3 into 5 raised to the power 1. Alright, that means this will become 5 raised to the power 2 plus 3 plus 1. That means 5 raised to the power 6. So you can obviously multiply and get the result. So 5 raised to the power 6, that means 6 times power of 5. So that you have to find out. Most probably 5 raised to the power 3 is 125, 5 raised to the power 4 is 625, so 5 raised to the power 5 will be 3125 and so on. So you can calculate. Now that means this is application question. Now next one is for law 2. Even for fractions, suppose I got 2 by 3 multiplied by to the power 2 by 3 to the power 2, 2 by 3 to the power 1 and 2 by 3 to the power 2 again. So it's the same way we have to deal. This becomes 2 by 3 to the power 2 plus 1 plus 2. That means it becomes 2 by 3 to the power 2 plus 1 3 plus 2 5. That means it will be 2 to the power 5 is 32 divided by 3 to the power 5 is 243. So this is how we go about application. Simple application first you should know. This is A and this is B. This is just a recap of what we studied in standard 7. Now let us have a look, children. That suppose you have division. Suppose you have division. So application question once again for second law. Application, basic application first. Application questions. So we have, say for example, 3 by 2 to the power 5 divided by 3 by 2 to the power 3. So what does law, second law say? A to the power m divided by a to the power n is equal to a to the power m minus n. So that means this can be written as 3 by 2 to the power 5 minus 3. So 3 by 2 to the power 2, that means 9 by 4. One basic understanding you should have when you are applying laws, that always laws are used when the bases will remain the same. Alright, that means 3 by 2, then your base is 3 by 2, then only we can apply. Now next one is log 3 is a to the power m to the power n. Now suppose I have application question for the third law. Change the pen. Question for the third law. Then we will have, say for example, 5 by 3 to the power 2 to the power 2 or 3. So it becomes 5 by 3 raised to the power 3 into 2, that is equal to 5 by 3 to the power 6 and so on. So we can later on calculate this. You should calculate. Now this is your term. 5 into 5 into 5 6 10 and 3 into 3 into 3 and 6 10. You can calculate this. When you are doing any video lessons, remember those video lessons, whatever is done on the board, copy the questions and then do it on your own. Suppose you get stuck, see the method but not the complete solution. Then on your own you can change the question. You can use a base 4 for the same question. You can use base 2 for the same questions and go ahead. You can become your own question maker and then you can go ahead. Then you will be able to understand things nicely. Also, you have a mobile. If you are watching on a mobile on a tab, nowadays there is a smart switch. You can change this. You can straight away project this by using the smart switch on your TV, and you can see on a larger screen. It will be better served. In most of the mobiles nowadays, you can straight away play what you are doing on the mobile can be played on the TV itself. Now there is one last thing. You may have noticed what is 5 to the power 0. You may have noticed last year it was told to you 5 to the power 0 is equal to 1, or anything to the power 0 is equal to 1. Why? Because see, we can write 5 to the power 0. So we can write 5 to the power 0 as 5 to the power 2 minus 2 or 5 to the power 3 minus 3. So what does this become? 5 to the power 2 minus 2 is, recall division, m minus n. If we write it in a reverse way, it will be 5 to the power 2 divided by 5 to the power 2 again. So this becomes 1. So simple explanation is this. Why you can use it 3 and 3, then only you will get 0. So that means same number divided by same number, you get the result. So anything to the power 0 is in fact 1. So law 4 says anything to the power 0, that means a to the power 0 is equal to 1. Now you should also know how to reverse. You should also know how to reverse the law. One very simple application. These are common questions, but sometimes If you've got common sense, then even some difficult questions, we call it. Competitive examination questions are never difficult, they are different. Let us have a look. Like suppose they tell you compare these two, that which is greater, 2 to the power 44. 1 second, let me see. 2 to the power 44 or 3 to the power 33. Now you have to compare. Now here both the things you see. The bases are the same and the powers are the same. Bases are different and powers are also same. So you get confused. You don't have to calculate this big, isn't it? It is very difficult to calculate 2 to the power 44 or 3 to the power 33. But there is a hint, 44 and 33 are multiple of 11. So we can write this as 2 to the power, let me change the ink please. Okay, 2 to the power 11 into 4, and here 3 to the power 11 into 3. Now here only smart kids will know what does this mean. M and anything to the power m into n will become the power m to the power n, and here the power n to the power m. Have a look, how did I use? I used the reverse. M into n is this way. So 11 into 4 can be written as 2 to the power 4 to the power 11, 3 to the power 3 to the power 11. Now what happens? 2 to the power 4 is 16. 16 to the power 11 and 27 to the power 11. 3 cube is 20. Now which is greater? 16 multiplied 11 times or 27 multiplied 11 times? Of course, this is greater, so we can write down 3 to the power 33 is greater. 3 to the power 33 is greater than 2 to the power 44. So sometimes, see, in the next video we'll see class 8. This was quick recap, video one was quick recap. In the second one you'll see the basic questions of the textbook, and then we'll go ahead with very, very good questions on competitive examination. Thank you and have a nice day.